the southwest coast of this vast continent, Australia, at the WACA, one of the most iconic cricket grounds in the world. England led by Heather Knight and Dani van Niekerk leading the South Africans as they arrive for their first outing in the 2020 ICC Women's T20 World Cup. This match in Group B, and so much at stake. Every match with so much. It's an evening contest here. The lights are on. It's been a beautiful day. It's been bright and sunny, and it's warm with a gentle breeze that could get a bit stronger this evening. That might play its part. It's coming to you live, England, South Africa, from the WACA in Perth. Nervous moments right now for the player. You've got a slightly more silky action of Marizanne Kaap.
You have. They complement each other very well, and you just hope, and they've probably spoken about, they've watched the game last night, not to get too carried away with the bounce here. Got to attack the stumps, bowl hard lengths.
Dani van Niekerk has won the toss, and South Africa are fielding first. There'll be a lot of support for the South Africans. This really is an outpost on the southwest corner of Australia for hundreds and hundreds of South African emigres, and also, of course, we have many people from home in England here living now, where the climes are a bit warmer than they are at home at the moment, and all, of course, thoughts with people who are having a tough time in England with the dreadful weather there. Let's hope that the action here tonight, South Africa against England, will bring some cheer, some warmth into your homes. So England with a batting lineup that changes. Lottie, your thoughts on the fact that it'll be Amy and Danny Wyatt? I think it will be to open here for England.
Yeah, these two have opened for a number of games now, and I think this is the right decision. They've struggled so far in the tri-series and in the warm-up games. They have struggled, but I think these are the two best players to go up front for England. They're attacking, and I think for England to do well in this tournament, these two need to perform well.
Both these opening batters for England have had experience of the Women's Big Bash League, the WBBL, with Amy Jones playing her cricket here for the Perth Scorchers and Danny Wyatt for the Melbourne Renegades. Amy Jones with an ICC T20 ranking of 27. Healthy strike rate, 450s with the best 89. And Danny Wyatt, whose career has simply flipped for the better, I might add. Once was averaging no more than 11. Now she's averaging in the last season or two over 30 with a couple of centuries in there. She has just found a rich seam of gold, and this is different now for South Africa. Nonkululeko Mlaba, 19 years of age, the ball left arm spin.
Yeah, and this is quite a surprise. We've obviously seen something in the stats say that these two potentially don't like left arm spin first up.
Get ready for the countdown.
4, 3, 2, 1, let's go!
Left arm spin to start. Well, it's a decent opening pairing for England because they average 35, which is a good start in any form of T20 cricket.
Yeah, they've done really well together, but this is good from South Africa. They've obviously seen, Amy Jones does like pace on the ball. She's a very good back foot player, and they wouldn't have been expecting this, England, I don't think, first up.
Oh, it's a gift and gleefully accepted. A full toss put away, and your eyes would light up.
Absolutely, and these are freebies in the first over. Big full toss, but good control there from Amy Jones to hit that down the ground. It runs away.
That 4 brings up 500 runs in between these two. Lofted this time with a nice piece of footwork. That was silky from Amy Jones.
And this is a beautiful shot from Amy Jones. She got the flight, great use of the feet. She's just lifted this over Chloe Tryon's head at mid-off. This beautiful shot, back-to-back boundaries for Amy Jones.
Confidence coming through from Amy Jones. She's played a lot of cricket here for the Perth Scorchers in the WBBL. Knows the conditions, knows about the swirling wind and this pitch and what these pitches can do. Another full toss, but there is a long on, so a boundary saved. First over brings 9 for England. So left arm spin to start, and when you know that there's a couple of very decent pace bowlers for the South Africans.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big surprise, but it's I guess they've seen something, potentially a weakness, and I personally would have started with the 2 seamers, but we are going to see Marizanne cap now.
Yeah, that breeze, I'd say, is moving from a gentle breeze to a decent wind now, and it is a windy city, we know that. Right, Marizanne Kapp. Again, another player who plays in the WBBL. So many of these women cricketers ply their craft around the world. She does swing the ball, and she invites the false stroke often.
She does. She's one of the most consistent performers in the world. One of the best power play bowlers in the WBBL. Great economy rate. And this is why you think you should start with Marizanne Kapp, first ball of the game. You feel like they've just let Amy Jones get off to a good start in the previous over.
Yeah, you see how she does. She's so experienced, Marizanne Kapp. She can wobble the ball around. Got some milestones today. Heather Knight is heading towards 1,000 T20I runs. Mignon Dupré, it's a 100th T20 international, and Shabnim Ismail is heading towards 100 wickets. Marizanne Kapp is bowling with the one slip. Dani van Niekerk, the South African cap there, she's in your picture right there. She's at first slip and she's fielding very deep. Down the pitch and uppish and through. That looks like it's got enough for 4.
This is such a good shot from Amy Jones. Looking to hit the ball straighter. Timed it beautifully, advancing down the wicket, beautifully played through the leg side, great timing, races away again.
We saw that milestone for Mignon Dupré, a very special night tonight.
Right, actually, I think the smile says it all. It's actually really hard to put it into words. I think growing up as a little girl, it's always your dream to play for your country, and to do it 100 times at a World Cup event at the WACA, I mean, I actually can't ask for a better day than this.
Yeah, she's been a wonderful player and servant for South African women's cricket. 2 overs gone, 13 for no wickets. Well, 2 overs gone, and some very impressive footwork we're seeing already from Amy Jones. England have been put into bat tonight in this Group B match. Amy Jones and Danny Wyatt, with Nat Siver, Heather Knight, Fran Wilson, Tammy Beaumont, Lauren Winfield and Catherine Brunt. It's a lot of batting in this England side.
Yeah, they've got the luxury of having quite a few all-rounders, so they can bat deep, and hence they can go hard at the top. And Danny Wyatt, who's just about to face her first delivery of the day.
Yes, against one of the bowlers in the world who lives up to her reputation as a fast bowler. She snarls, doesn't she, Shabnim?
Yeah, she's an angry woman sometimes, is Ismail.
I like that. Oh, it's a half volley. It hasn't quite been hit off out of the middle. Well, we saw a left-arm spinner, Nonkululeko Mlaba, first, but Amy Jones has been using her feet so well, Lottie.
Yeah, and something she does really, really well. I think I said earlier that she has struggled in Australia so far in the Tri-Series and in some of the warm-up games, but she looks very confident today, hitting straighter.
That's through. Nicely played, and it's 4.
Brilliantly played off the back foot now. She's a very good back foot player, Amy Jones. Just not that much width, but it was the length that enabled Amy Jones to pierce that through the offside.
Could be any one of the shots we've seen from Amy Jones. She's faced 14 balls and Danny Wyatt's faced 1.
Amy Jones looks very good. Her feet are moving well. She's getting back into the ball. Looking very impressive. And as you said, Alan, she's played a lot of cricket at the WACA. She'll understand how to play on this wicket. She'll probably be very happy that her first game of the World Cup was at the WACA ground.
Yeah, 5 games actually she's played here. Averaging 21, highest score 33. 23, I should say, 23. Short and pulled away in the gap. It's not going to go for 4. Ayabonga Kaka is the fielder. She'll be bowling some medium pace fairly soon, I would think. What do you think of this pitch, Lottie?
I think it's a good pitch. I was talking to a few of the England players before the start of the game. I said, you know, just don't go too hard too early, because I think once you get in on this pitch, you can really catch up. Such a fast scoring ground.
Hasn't quite timed that, and she knows it. Just have a look. She's just shaken her head there, because that really was an inviting half volley length.
Yeah, she is probably slightly sitting back, thinking that Ismail's going to go quite short at her. But that one, she just went in.
Very good start this for Amy Jones. Already 20 on the board for her. Amy Jones once again on strike. Here's Marizan Kapp down the pitch again. Last ball of that Ismail over, Lottie.
Yeah, well, Amy Jones is a very good player off the back foot and a very good puller of the ball. She picks up the length so quickly, rolls her hands over that delivery. It's a real highlight of Amy Jones's batting. She looks to be playing very well today.
Danny Wyatt hasn't had much. That's only the second ball she's had. She's played 4 games here, Danny Wyatt, and she averages 48 here for the Melbourne Renegades.
We're both probably pleased then, though the first game was here. But you can see, I can see why. The ball does come on, and Danny Wyatt hits in weird areas over sort of backward a point. She opens the face. They like pace on the ball.
Interesting shot that, just flicked leg side, and it's going to be 3. It should be a 3rd. No. Good recovery.
Kan jy vir my uit asseblief? Dan gaan ek shot van die gooi.
Would that frustrate you, Lottie, if you're Daniel Wyatt?
Not if we were 25 for none.
Yeah, look at the scoreboard. Where are we? We're 25 for no wicket. Danny Wyatt's a spectator again. Lofted, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's gone straight to Chloe Tryon at mid-off. And 1 shot too many. That's a great pity for Amy Jones.
And that's the length you have to bowl at the WACA. Hard length, hard to hit over the top. Amy Jones went to go over the top, high up on the bat, and a very easy catch to Chloe Tryon. And Amy Jones, unfortunately, she has to go. It's been a nice little innings from her. She goes for 23, England are 25 for 1.
Nat Siver is in at 3 for England, another player who has played her cricket here for the Perth Scorchers in the WBBL. Danny Wyatt, I think you can forgive her for missing one because she's been watching it like we have and like you have at home. This is the end of Amy Jones.
You just think you're not quite sure what she's trying to do. It looked like she was trying to maybe pull it, but it was too full really, and then got high up on the bat. Unfortunate for Amy Jones. She was looking very good.
There'll be a single off the last ball of the 4th. England put into bat 26 for 1. England have lost their first. Amy Jones, who's looking so good. So Nat Siver has just come in. Heather Knight destined to come in at 4. This is a floating batting lineup. Oh, that's gone. What a good catch. And Ayabonga Kaka can't believe it because it probably wasn't her best delivery, but it's all smiles for the Proteas.
We've seen Danny White get caught quite a bit in Australia so far at point, and that's a poor delivery, and she's just hit that straight to Lizelle Lee. Kaka, she's laughing, she's got away with that one. Danny Wyatt has to go. She departs for 2, and England are 26 for 2.
Heather Knight, England's captain, comes in, and the complexion of what looked like a very promising start with Amy Jones in full cry has now changed. Jones has gone, Wyatt has gone, 2 new batters at the crease. That's a wide. Ayabonga Kaka down the leg side. So England have got to regroup, restart.
In my opinion, England's 2 best players, and here's the, that's a poor dismissal. She actually got it on the full, didn't she? And she's just bottom of the bat there to Lizelle Lee.
Wide.
as I said, two of England's best players, I think, certainly since they've been over in Australia. Heather Knight's been exceptional, and Natalie Siver, she's got a great record as well. But I'm sure there'll be a few nerves now in that England dugout.
Well, it's a long batting line. England will need it. A little bit of in-swing from Ayabonga Kaka. You can see from her action it's going to be a little in-swinger. And the breeze is over her left shoulder. So it's helping her. Three bowlers have been used, different bowlers who had left arm spin. It's quite a strong breeze here at the Wacker tonight. So at left arm spin, we've had Shabnim Ismail. We've now got Ayabonga Kaka. In-swing again. That's really well bowled from Kaka. B match with England, West Indies. West Indies beat Thailand here yesterday, South Africa and Pakistan. And Group A is Australia, New Zealand, India, who beat Australia in the opening match on Thursday, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. It's the top two teams who go through. There is no breathing space in any of these matches.
And it's so good. It's so good to come to a World Cup and every game not knowing who's going to be the winner. And this is going to be another fantastic game for us all.
This is good stuff from Kaka. She's bowled a couple of wides, but she's at the pads of Heather Knight. Now this ground, have a look here. It's square. Just under 60 metres down the ground. Yeah, it's a long hit, of course, but just behind square on both sides. It's not much. It really isn't much, as you can see from those dimensions. Well bowled. That's a very fine piece of bowling. 5 gone. England 28 for 2.
Score is in 112.
South Africa come back nicely after a little tough start for them. First couple of overs not quite going their way. Tried something different, opening with the spinner. Last time that Shabnim Ismail didn't open the bowling was in 2018 in England. And that was against England because of Danny Wyatt and her susceptibility to spin. They tried it again tonight, didn't work this time around. But eventually they did pick up the wicket of Danny Wyatt after a bit of a tough start for her too. So a nice little comeback by South Africa.
Yeah, it was an interesting one, wasn't it? It started with spin for Wyatt, but Amy Jones went up that end and took the first ball and belted her for 2 boundaries. Could have changed their mind, but they stuck to the plan. Didn't quite work out, but credit to South Africa. Dragged it back with a couple of wickets in the power play. T20 is about taking wickets. The only way you can check the scoring rates to take wickets.
It's very wide, and on this occasion Marizon Cup just not 100% getting it right. Maybe Knight missing out a little bit.
When it's short and wide like that, and the bounce, as Heather Knight's showing you there, you've got to decide when you go up and over. There she's practicing the up and over. Yesterday evening, Patu smacked a couple over point, 1 for 4 and 6. Sometimes at the Wacker you've got to go up and over point. Already seen Danny Wyatt just hole out to cover point off a low full toss. Just nervous England now with those 2 wickets, whether to stick or twist.
Cup wants a change in the field. She's saying don't need the slip. Dane van Niekerk, who is standing at slip, is going to go out into mid-wicket, a square leg on the boundary in Laura Wolfart, and Mlaba comes off the fine leg boundary up into the inner ring. Well, she goes short. Chooses just to go full and drive towards mid-on. A little slip from Shabnin Ismail to Medon. In the history of the WBBL, too often she gets it wrong. Very experienced campaigner for South Africa. She's working a lot on her batting as well. We'll be seeing her batting up the order tonight. Marizon Cup since the last T20 World Cup has been having an economy rate on average of 4.28 in the power play, which is quite something. Sometimes she doesn't take a lot of wickets, but she's economical. It's good from Marizon Cup and South Africa. Good into the power play, 31 for 2.
Yeah, excellent. First 2 overs belong to England and Amy Jones in particular. Since then, South Africa in the last 4 overs have come back nicely. 31 for 2 is low in a power play score here at the WACA.
And openers back in the dugout, and we've got Andrew right here with me. Andrew, happy with the start? I think it's a beautiful start. 2 for 31 hours, 6 overs. I think England's going to have to give it. And the mic is on for England. I've got very good here for India. The big dance.
Ayabonga Kaka into her second over. It's really good to see Ayabonga Kaka back into the attack for South Africa after her injuries and shoulder problems she's had over the last year or so. This is how things have gone so far. That first 6 overs, only 2 fielders allowed out of the 25-yard circle. It was a good start by England. Amy Jones was fantastic to start. After her wicket, though, South Africa came back into it.
Yeah, she just gets that in drift. I was saying yesterday, in white ball cricket, I reckon it's the best way to go. Just get the ball drifting in. Early on, they started with spin, and Amy Jones enjoyed spin. She used her feet, got to it on the full at times. There was a lovely shot over mid-off, and she looked in good touch. Good nick until it was 1 shot too many.
Well, South Africa started with spin, that didn't work, so it went back to the seamers. Marizon Cup, one of the experienced campaigners, looking at the big wicket of Amy Jones, who was looking really good. And then Danny White getting one wrong, just pushing at it. She hadn't faced a lot of deliveries up to that point. Well played, straight down the ground. Wonderful timing.
Yeah, Danny White watching on there, probably wishing that's exactly what she did to a little low full toss. She tried to squirt it offside, and that Siva got it on the full and clubbed it straight back past the bowler.
Again, going for that in drift. She's getting quite a bit of movement through the air, is Kaka. A decent pace as well. Langston Rusere from Zimbabwe is standing tonight, one of the standing umpires. And he's with Chris Brown from New Zealand. 2 standing umpires. Chris Brown from the Cook Islands. Both experienced. Could be 2 here if they run hard, but they decide against it very quickly off the boundary. Laura Wolfart, and Lizelle Lee has to back up quickly, and she does well. Ends the over 38 for 2. favours England when these two come together in T20 internationals. I know my co-commentator's smiling when he sees that stat.
I'm smiling at the score at the moment, though, 38-2. One thing that first game in Sydney showed, that past history counts for very little. It's how you play on the night. And so far, South Africa have done pretty well.
Nonkululeko Naba back into the attack. Made her debut last year against India. Just bringing out the little lap shot. England play that shot very, very well. It's something that they worked on for a few years, and it's been very effective for England over the last few years in rotating the strike and also upsetting the bowler's line and length.
Slightly more dangerous here. If there was a girl at 45, a woman at 45, there isn't. Because of the bounce here, you play that little paddle and you can top edge it. They're leaving it free because there's a boundary galloper right on the fence. Generally at the whacker, you want to come down and hit over the top. And mid-off is up, but there is an unusual fielder at a sort of wide, long off, right on the boundary. Can't quite see her on shot there, but she is just there.
Early call. It's a good response as well from the partner. Yeah, it's an interesting position that Dane van Niekerk is employing. It's a very wide, long off.
Yeah, absolutely. Nat Siver in particular comes down and hits over mid-off well, into out. Heather Knight also, she's more of a paddler.
Rise of Catchett. This long on in the end is a little too deep in Laura Wolfart. She's quite a good fielder, especially boundary riders as well. Really good fielding. Marizanne Kapp is an athlete, she moves well. Just having a look at a partnership perspective for England. They know partnerships are important. We talk about it all the time in the longer formats of the game, and it's just as important in this format. They had a decent start, but they need more. And this is a good over from Mlaba. It's a good comeback from her after her first over went for 9. 8 overs gone, 43 for 2.
The other thing that's been good has been the fielding. They look energetic. It was a poor fielding display yesterday from Sri Lanka. But South Africa look a good unit. They're running around, showing a lot of energy. Cap looks a good athlete. Ishmael looks sharp in the field. Zell Lee has fielded very well. Taking the catch, backing up well.
Dane van Niekerk now into the attack. Van Niekerk probably under-bowled herself in the T20 World Cup last time around. Be interested to see how she uses herself here in Australia. She knows the conditions well, having played a lot of WBBL matches. Never a T20 international though. She starts well. Let's though see where Ellen Wilkins is at the moment.
I'm not too far from you, actually, Nat. Lisa Kitely, who's the coach of England. Lisa, how's it going for you? Haven't been in the job for too long. January, I think it was. How have you settled into it?
Yeah, it's been really good. We've had really good preparation with the Tri-Series and then being over in Perth so early. I'm hoping...
Could be a magnificent catch. That is a superb catch.
What a brilliant catch by Shabnin Ishmael. She is a wonderful athlete. She had a long way to run, and that's a big wicket for South Africa.
I was just saying how athletic they looked in the field, how sharp they looked, and this was an exceptional catch. It really was. There was that wide long off we spoke about, so Heather Knight thought, well, I'll just bop it over mid-off, but she forgot that long on could run round. That was an exceptional catch. Knight, the England captain, goes for 6. England 43 for 3.
Let's go back to Lisa Cartley. Lisa, obviously not our timing wasn't great there. You're 3 down now. Just give us your thoughts on this match so far.
Yeah, well, we started off really well in the power play and we went after them early. Amy was batting really nicely, and obviously we've lost 3 quick wickets. Not ideal in T20, but it shows you how quickly it can change. So hopefully they can keep their nerve and build a partnership, and then we can go hard at the end.
The other thing is, I think NASA before the match described your batting lineup as a floating lineup. You've got a lot of batting in this lineup.
Yeah, I suppose with Nat Siver being able to bowl 4 overs for us, it allows us to put an extra batter in there. So we do bat deep. So the girls have to keep being positive and looking to score, and then hopefully we can have a few big overs throughout.
All right, Lisa, thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of your stint, and have a great tournament.
Thanks very much. Cheers.
Back upstairs.
Brilliant bit of fielding by Laura Wolfart. Good little innovation, nice little change up from the batter. South Africa, they look up for it in the field, they're keeping it tight. 9 overs gone, 45 to 3.
South Africans. After 9 overs is England.
I love her expressions always. She's so emotional on the field. She's just trying to make sure, difficult bowling herself, she wanted to make sure who was bowling the other end. Obviously with the wicket the plans may have changed. That was the catch. It was a brilliant catch from Ishmael. Opening bowlers usually just sort of hide in the field, not her.
Let his legs up. Ball's left arm around.
3 wickets so far for South Africa, Kapkaka and Van Niekerk. Oh, he's trying a little reverse sweep. That's a brilliant take by Trisha Chetty.
Well, Fran Wilson has played 4 deliveries, and she's tried to reverse sweep 2 of them. Short in stature, so she loves the sweep shot. Just going to have to be careful. She picks up length well. That's 4 sweeps now. It's probably just angling down. Skipper's going to get involved with the review. Keeper says, no, we're okay.
Chetty, very experienced. Good to see her back as well in the T20 international format. Hasn't played a lot in this format since the last T20 World Cup. She missed that through a back injury. Oh, it's a missed opportunity there for South Africa. She'd come down the track, a clean take, might have seen a stumping.
Yeah, she has been excellent, and the first slip up, bit of drop, deceived the bounce you get at the whacker. The bounce, did she get it on the rebound? Hits her on the chin. The time it takes her to get the ball back to the stumps, no chance.
Sorry, we're just taking the
bat in the air. Now it's on the ground. Bales removed. Satisfied? My decision is not out. Repeat, not out on big screen, please.
Not out there, but Wilson looks frenetic, I'll tell you. Just calm down. Just give yourself 10 deliveries here, just to get in.
Again, reverse sweep. Wilson batted at 5 a couple of times in that try series and had a couple of notable scores, 139 in Canberra, so she should be used to coming in at this stage for England quite recently, but she just looked a little uncomfortable today. South Africa on top of it right now. Full toss and clubbed away. Some power and bottom hand from Siver. 50 up.
Yeah, Siver the key now. She is the class player in this lineup. There are a lot of hitters. One player who looks calm and classy always, every time she plays for England, is Nat Siver. Long levers, got to it on the full.
But a really good reply from Mlaba, just dragging it back a touch. 10 overs gone, 50 for 3.
Now you can vote for your player of the day. Go to those websites, Facebook or Twitter. Look for ICC and vote for the player of the day. And there's been plenty today you can choose from. How about this one? Isha Guha, what about this for a player of the day?
Yeah, good from a South African point of view. Shabnim Ismail covers the ground, gets to the ball. And safe pair of hands in the end as well, but a key wicket. The one of the England captain.
I think it's a fairly nervous dugout right now. Not the time to talk to the coach, but she seemed quite calm. So South Africa seem to have a few plans which didn't work out initially, but they're back into this contest.
Yeah, the left arm spinner to open the bowling. The fields, they look well planned as well. A good understanding of the opposition that they're up against South Africa. They've had the opportunity to play against them a number of times now. A number of these girls having featured in the WBBL over in our domestic league as well in the KSL. And they've learned all the way through.
And that's a very oh, that was for a second looking a little dangerous.
Needed to take it cleanly. Ayabonga Kaka in that position. Don't know, Van Niekerk, frustration from her point of view. Needed it in and out.
Van Niekerk, who last August was voted the South African Women's Cricketer of the Year, made an international debut at 15. Oh, that's taken a chance as well. It's risky. Looks okay if it comes off. And it's come off for a couple of runs here. It needed the dive though at the end. This will go upstairs to the third umpire.
Third umpire to director. Review for run out. Your best order and angles, please. Batsman diving, bats in. Satisfied? My decision is not out. Repeat, not out on big screen, please.
It was a very good dive. End of 11, 56 for 3. Start of over number 12. Shabnim Ismail. She is as lively and as hostile as any bowler in this tournament.
Fairly sort of springy action. Gets a lot through that arm and through her body when she gets to the crease. And that delivery stride as well. She comes right over, gets that pace going through. Probably the quickest on show in this tournament.
.75 for her, 128 points. Poonam Yadav with those wonderful wickets against Australia in Sydney, 124. Stephanie Taylor, Shikhar Pandey and Hayley Jensen of New Zealand. Hasn't come off the middle of the bat by any means.
I did wonder when she might use that delivery. Slightly shorter square boundaries, but it's still a good option with her pace and the bounce on this surface.
Feel with Shabnam Ismail that she hates people who hold cricket bats. She just runs in, breathing fire through her nostrils, and she really can work up some pace. Good effort ball again. It's just one.
There's a few of those around, Alan. Still got Catherine Brunt to bowl in the next innings.
Fran Wilson, 7 from 13. England losing wickets. Change of pace from Ismail.
We heard from Nasser a little bit earlier talk about the fact that she's been a little bit frenetic. Well, this is her natural habitat. She loves the sweeps, the orthodox. That is like a cover drive to her. I've seen it on a number of occasions. She'll get it out early. It may not bring her that many runs, but that's where she feels most comfortable, but needs to be so very careful. That ball being pitched up. It's 4 from that last over, Ismail. Dane van Niekerk.
Attracts people from distant climes of the Northern Isles, Great Britain. Also, it's an outpost for many South Africans here as well. Dane van Niekerk from Pretoria plays for the Sydney Sixers. She started her WBBL career with the Melbourne Renegades. 15 when she played in that tournament that you played in, Isha. in 2009, North Sydney Oval, when England pulled off the title of the Women's World Cup. You remember those days?
Yeah, it feels like a very long time ago now, Alan. But thanks for the reminder. Always a special memory over here in Australia. She'll eventually grow into those pads.
Dane van Niekerk is not just an impressive leg break bowler, and there are 2 leg break bowlers in this side with Sunny Luce, but she's South Africa's leading run scorer in T20 internationals as well. Dane van Niekerk, an inspirational captain, an emotional captain, but everyone looks up to her and what she does, how she leads this side.
It's a really good field that she's set. She's got that player out at deep mid-wicket. She's got a square leg in position. She knows that these two can ramp. So there's that player, sort of a deep backward square that's quite fine. Not allowing any sort of width.
Well, that's different from Fran Wilson. And she's got to look for a second here as well. And she'll get it.
Yeah, if she's going to go anywhere, generally it's leg side, Fran Wilson. She's good at the cut shot, but Dane van Niekerk bowling too full for that. Field up on the offside. Square of the wicket. So she might want to try and give herself a bit of room.
It's the reverse option. It's a bag of tricks at the moment from Fran Wilson. 13 gone, 66 for 3. Ismail, third over. It's a nice little contest between Nat Siva and Shabnim Ismail. Both are aware, each is aware of the skills. Next to bat, who's in next? Tammy Beaumont, Lauren Winfield and Catherine Brunt.
Yeah, Tammy Beaumont has been pushed into that middle order, previously opening Lauren Winfield as well. Winfield has developed her all-round game to be able to hit 360. Catherine Brunt brings a lot of power to proceedings. So for these two, Nat Siva at the moment playing high percentage cricket. At what point will they want to take some more risks? Well, they got batting to come, so probably another couple of overs and they'll start to take a few more risks.
Yeah, and I wonder at which point they might even consider putting Catherine Brunt in next, because she's batted all the way up the order to 3, hasn't she? Catherine Brunt used as a pinch hitter. Not quite there. That was on her quickly. Well, what a moment. We've seen a great catch in this tournament, in this match tonight. And just the distance covered and the anticipation of the catch. That was a 100% cricket moment, showing great skill, power and speed from Shabnim Ismail to take the catch as comfortably as she did. And that was the end of Heather Knight.
Played in every edition of the World T20, Shabnim Ismail. Reached the semi-finals just once in 2014, South Africa. But a disappointing tournament for them last time out, losing to the West Indies and to England. It meant that they couldn't go through. But they've done their homework, they've come well prepared.
This is really high-class bowling from Shabnim Ismail. She's really at Nat Siva, and a length that Siva cannot pull, and she can't drive it. It's perfect.
And there's a real tendency, if you haven't played here too much, to get carried away and bowl a bit too short, but the length has been perfect. There's been the odd short ball. Oh, I wonder if she might have a go this delivery, actually.
Cross seam. Full from Ismail, and it's a single off the last ball of the 14th. 14 gone here, 69 for 3.
Yeah, she decides to go with the banker, which was the right decision. Brilliant bowling from Ismail, just at the 3 singles from that last over. Start getting a bit of a move on.
Last over for the South African captain, Dani van Niekerk. She's only conceded 14 from the first 3.
Tens and over will take them up to 128. And at the moment it's been a real struggle to find the boundary. They've been well contained, England.
for it. Fran Wilson almost premeditated that. Now this group, of course, England with West Indies, South Africa, Pakistan, Thailand. West Indies beating a plucky Thailand team yesterday. The other group, Australia, New Zealand, India, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. 2 teams go up. Only 2 from each group make the semi-finals. As I said when Lottie was on a little earlier, Isha, there's no breathing space. Every game is like a knockout game. Hasn't got the distance. No, she finds Shadneem Ismail again. This time she doesn't have to go too far, but it's a second catch. And importantly for South Africa, they've taken another England wicket.
Well, this wicket is born out of some really good bowling from Dane van Niekerk. Shadneem Ismail at the other end as well, maintaining the pressure. Fran Wilson felt she needed to go aerial, needed to take a risk. And it produced the dismissal. She goes for 14. It's 72 for 4.
Next to the crease, number 6, Catherine Brunt.
Catherine Brunt is in at 6 for England. 72 for 4 England, put into bat here tonight by Dane van Niekerk, the South African captain, who's bowling now, and she's taken her second wicket.
Ja, Daneki, ja, Daneki. Out.
Yeah, the reason why she's out in the middle, Fran Wilson looking to up the ante. And Dane van Niekerk, brilliant bowling. She hasn't strayed from the stumps. No width on offer. She's looked to target the stumps constantly. She's not dropped anything short. She's bowled to her field.
Next stump.
And I think England will be glad to see the last of her, because this is her last delivery for 4 overs. And Catherine Brunt with a bit of imagination from the very start. She'll get a couple. End of 15 overs, it's 75 for 4.
Current run rate, get England to 100. You feel that that is not enough on this wicket. You need to put the foot on the accelerator. Even 115 at 8 runs and over. South Africa back themselves to chase that down. That Silva needs something special. Trying to slog sweep. She's got hold of it and placed it well. So 81 for 4 it is at the moment.
Oh, yeah, left. Bowler! Right.
Early call of bowler just to get the ball back in as quickly as possible. They don't want England to take twos at this stage. Already South Africa under pressure now in this over. It's good from Nat Siva.
There is leg stump. World Cup.
She's lucky she got a little something on that.
Catherine Brunt's already brought energy to the crease, running well.
Again, going for that same area. And she's picked it well yet again. This is brilliant batting from Siva.
It certainly is. It's the area you need to target. This ground, there's a big gap between mid-on and mid-wicket. Natalie Siva's got that gap again.
This is her highest score batting at number 3, Nat Siva, for England. Before this, she was averaging around 10 at this position. Sweeping well again. She's got some good bat on that. Ishmael, so quick around the turf again. She's already taken a wonderful catch. Bit of work by Trisha Chetty behind the stumps, but it's a good over for England, 88 for 4. Really good over from England's point of view. Love has finished her 4 overs, so now these last few overs are going to be interesting from South Africa. The South African captain, who she goes to, and Nikek's done too. How this innings has come about. That 6-over power play was very interesting up front. England started well, South Africa came back, and then South Africa turned the screws and made it much harder for England to score runs. The field placing was good. Dane van Niekerk with her bowling certainly stood out. Now England need to finish well.
I think Van Niekerk's been exceptional. I think they've certainly done their homework. This is the best I've seen South Africa with the ball.
Great anticipation.
This is so good from Natalie Siva. She's used the pace of Kaka. She's seen the gap behind the wicket.